Thank you. If you've got visitors coming to town, which restaurants will you take them to? Or which ones would you recommend to really get the best Greenville experience? We've got Ariel Blanchard here, and you get this question all the time, right?
All the time. It's always in my DMs on Instagram where I run into people and they say, hey, I've got a friend coming into town. What do you recommend? And most of the time then I ask them, okay, what day are you needing to do lunch, dinner, you know, all of these things. But if you don't have all of the particularities and you're just looking for that go-to list, I've come up with a list that, you know, some people are going to be there's going to be some discussion, and I'm here for it.
But it's really kind of brilliant because you're taking legacy restaurants that give people the taste of Greenville history, also new restaurants that speak to our future. So really a mix of the two.
A mix of the two, because I think that's what Greenville is. We have a lot of interesting history here, but also we're moving forward so quickly and so much these days that you have to represent that to really accurately represent what's happening downtown and in the surrounding areas.
Well, the first one to highlight, OJ's Diner. This is the soul food staple.
It is the soul food staple. You want fried chicken, mac and cheese, coleslaw, you know, those collard greens, cornbread. This is the place to go for it that accurately represents what this is like in Greenville. There are definitely many other places that serve these things. So if you have a favorite, take your friends to that favorite if that's the one. But this is definitely one where if you're not sure and you know you want to give someone that meat and three experience that's really, really consistently good all the time, and that fried chicken is, I mean, it's legendary. This is the spot.
There's a reason everybody knows OJ's Diner. So
and you're going to see some local legends when you're there.
Totally. And then you've got Brick Street Cafe, an early iconic beacon of the West End.
Yeah, before the West End was as walkable and accessible as it is, they opened up Brick Street Cafe. Sarah opened it, and Miss Sue, who had, you know, she is that wonderful woman who literally just retired at 94 years old. I mean, she's an icon. She and Sarah made this place so inviting to everyone, and you're going to see that all the time. Anytime you walk in, there's those incredible cakes, first of all.
Sweet potato cake.
The sweet potato cake. I mean, that one is one of those things that when people ask, like, what's the dessert you get in Greenville? It's the sweet potato cake. And that love muffin with the chicken salad that Miss Sue used to make with her bare hands. I mean, like, just really, really delicious food, but the hospitality there is really showing what Greenville loves about community.
And then you've got the Anchorage on Perry Avenue in West Greenville. And I thought it was interesting. My uncle in California texted me. He goes, do you know this place, the Anchorage? You know, he was looking at restaurants, and that's a place where they might come to town asking about.
I love that. Well, and the way that I think this represents Greenville so much is that they source everything from local farms. So you are getting the best produce and everything that represents the Appalachian cuisine that, you know, we're not on the coast. We're not seafood centric. We are Appalachian. So that means you're going to get proteins that are, you know, on land, not in the sea. Plenty of vegetables, lots of produce, great drinks, a great wine selection as well, for, you know, if that's your interest level. But I love that they support so many local farms, and they're doing so in a way that is then catapulting the cuisine forward. I mean, they are really setting the bar very, very high for what cuisine should be like in Greenville for the future.
And people rave about it.
Oh, it's a rave, and they've had a James Beard nomination, so you know it's worth it.
In order to fully showcase the evolution of Main Street, for somebody who hasn't been here in some years, you take visitors to Camp.
Camp, I know, and so I was deciding, okay, is it Sobeys, because that's been so iconic, you know, and that's on Main Street, but I think Camp is owned by the same folks who opened Sobeys, and so Camp is the evolution of what Sobeys was, and then you bring all of that Southern hospitality, but then you mix it with Latin American flavors, global flavors, and that really exemplifies what is happening along Main Street with all of our different restaurants. And I love the fact that they manage to put all of those different flavors into dishes that are cohesive, first of all, but also they're so inviting, they're accessible, even though they're elevated.
Beautiful restaurant stories.
Really beautiful, really beautiful.
Next, a place where the food is absolutely phenomenal, the hummus, the pita sandwiches. Also a great representation of Greenville embracing a flavor of a culture's food.
Yeah, I love the fact that Pita House, that has been cash only for this entire time, still manages to be packed every single day. The food is so exceptionally delicious, but what you notice there is that this is about community. This is about people accepting something that was new to them. You know, we didn't have a place that had such incredible pita and fresh flavors like this until they opened, and now we do.
It's too delicious not to accept it, though.
That's true. I mean, it's irresistible. You can't help it. But what I love too is that every Sunday you're going to see their staff pressure washing every bit of that restaurant. Like, they do this every single Sunday, so they are so dedicated to making sure that it is clean, that they are providing the best possible quality.
And then you've got Some Bar, obviously a significant place, representing the past and future of restaurants in sustainability and beyond.
And the Asian American community, I mean, it's just growing so much, and I love that they are representing everything within that community, not just a certain part of it.
Oh, beautiful
Such good
cuisine
food.
there.
I mean, it's really beautiful.
And a lot of our visiting guests interested in what happens along the Swamp Rabbit Trail. So you added an honorable mention for Swamp Rabbit Cafe, but for reasons well beyond the trail.
Sure, and, you know, and it's not just the trail, it's not just the restaurant there. Certainly they make great food, but it's because they're supporting the restaurants that are in Greenville. Without Swamp Rabbit Cafe, many of our restaurants wouldn't be able to equitably and source all of the food that they're trying to from local restaurants or from local farms. And so they have made a way for local restaurants to actually have local produce all the time, and it's really important to Greenville.
I love this roundup, and I can't wait to share it with my visiting uncle because
I can't wait to hear the results.
Okay, we'll go to lots of them. Ariel, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anybody can follow Ariel on social media, find out where her adventures take her. That information is on screen now.